Welcome to Impact Wrestling. Better is the best way to call this show. After the horrible emergence with its production value, not taking anything away from the content. I want to make this clear that the content of Emergence was not bad at all. You could have watched it if it had normal production and you would have liked it. But the production was bad. Here, the production is better. Now, I'm not saying they worked it all out. I'm just saying that this particular show, the production is better. The camera work was better. The lighting was better. So I will go with that. I'm saying it now because there's no reason to say it later. Now, Alan Angel of Dark Order, who's no longer a part of AEW supposedly, even though the Dark Order said they're staying, Alan Angel is not there. So he debuts on Impact Wrestling versus a Mike Bailey. Thank you, Fresh Meat, for the X Division champion to chew on. This is what we have a problem with. Now, I'm not saying Alan Angel is now a current member of the roster. He may just be there for tapings. And then when he finishes tapings, he's gone. But no matter if it's just a temporary thing, or they give him a 6-month contract, or a yearly contract, Fresh Meat for the X Division. Question is how long? This was a good match. It was good to see that they opened with the X Division Championship. Now, not everyone's going to agree with that. I know they're not going to. Disrespect, it's alright. It's not 100% a bad thing. It was a good match. They still continued the story what happened at Against All Odds when Trey and Mike messed each other up and Mike was still acting sore from the fight he had with Trey. It went with the story, which was perfectly fine. And I didn't expect Alan to win here. If they gave Alan Angel the damn title, that would be unprecedented. If someone shows up, wins the damn title, and we don't know if he's contract signed for either 6 months, a year, multiple years, or just coming in for tapings. Here, I didn't expect him to win. But he did do a great showing, and I gotta say, the Georgia crowd, the Atlanta, Georgia crowd, compared to all the other crowds that we have heard over the years in Impact, the last couple of years, whenever we've had them, this was one of the louder crowds. So it did help the show quite a lot. There we go. Now, Violence by Design did destroy both of them after the match was over with Mike. And they wanted Josh Alexander. But we get the Eric Young coming out and making it very clear, you ain't get the order from me. I can't do it. That will hurt my voice. But pretty much, that hurt my voice. I've been having allergies today, and doing that voice hurt. Pretty much, he said, I didn't give you orders to do what you did. But Diener said, we were going to continue the message that you want to give. That's the reason why we did this. You wanted people to understand the message. We were trying to honor your message. But he pretty much said, I thought we got rid of the sickness. You two still have it. Now, Diener and Joe want to make up for the damage they did. They said, give us one last chance. And he said, all right, I'll give you your chance. But I want to make it clear how this really is. As I've always said, this world doesn't belong to them. It belongs to us. But now, this world doesn't belong to them. It belongs to me. So what does that mean? That means pretty much this is your last chance. You fuck up, I'm not letting you stay with me. I'm getting rid of you from Violence by Design. It'll only be about me, not about Joe, not about Diener. And then they went and pick a fight, trying to find Josh Alexander. They pick a fight with the Motor City Machine Guns, and Josh is willing to bust their heads open. Even though, when it comes down to it, that sounds like we're going to have another 6-man tag. That means we're going to have the Motor City Machine Gun. I don't know why they're rushing this. I don't understand why they're rushing. Because that's what happened at Against All Odds. Wouldn't it be good to not rush this? That if Violence by Design has to prove their point, wouldn't it be nice to build up into it? Have at least 2 weeks of them building up into getting a match and showing Eric Young that they're worth it, because as it stands, Eric is already making it clear. I may be giving this last chance, but it's not about you two anymore and me. It's about me, because you're the one who lost, and I didn't give her permission. As I am the creator of Violence by Design, I didn't give him permission to do anything. So it feels like next week or the week after, we're going to have the Motor City Machine Guns versus Joe and the Diener. With maybe Josh Alexander at ringside, or Josh Alexander will run out and protect them when they're trying to get beaten up by Joe and Diener, and maybe Eric Young, counting if Eric is going to be involved, which I don't think he should be. He should be completely separate. Now, let's move on. Dorado Kid versus Trey. Now, here's something. They tried to set up Dorado Kid as the bad guy here because Trey is hurt. We're talking about one leg Trey, because his leg was more messed up than Mike Bailey's leg. And let me say this clearly. Did Trey look like $1,000,000 nursing a left leg? I believe it was left leg or right leg. Yeah, his left leg was messed up. No, was it his left or his right leg? I can't remember. Either his left leg or I think it was his right leg, was it? I don't even know which leg it was. I think it was his left. He pretty much was doing everything right-legged. He even did a kip-up with one leg. Now, that's not something people haven't done, but they wanted to set up Trey as so determined to get his damn title back. But here's the thing. I'm sorry. I don't care about Trey right now. You know who I want to care about? Dorado Kid. I want to see something with Dorado Kid. He's been around Impact for years, guys. This isn't the first time that he's been in Impact Wrestling. He came back twice. Twice he's come back. And they've done nothing with him. For those 2 times that he came, yes, he was paired up with Angel Garza from not from WWE. Now, I can't remember what his original name was before he was called Angel Garza. But the point is, he was working with him as a tag. Now he's back in Impact again as a singles competitor in the X Division. And what has he done? We need more fresh meat in the main title picture. Have we gotten more fresh meat? Somewhat yet. Blake Christian, great. You see, I'm getting frustrated here. When it comes to someone that should have been given something more. Blake Christian, yes, he was there. Now, Alan Angel, yes, he was there. Then we get Alex Zane. Yes, he had a one-off. Then we had El Phantasmo. He came in. But who has been consistently there? Dorado Kid. And what have they done? Stuck him on BTI the majority of time. We need someone that has been there for a while and just get the damn title like a Willie Mack. And do something with them when they got them while they're signed. It just feels like he's a waste. He just should leave. And it's not because he's not a good worker. And it doesn't matter if you can talk Spanish or not. They had something set up for Pentagon Jr. and for his, Phoenix can talk English, but Penta can't talk English very well. And they had someone type out what he was saying in Spanish. You can't tell me you can't do that with Dorado Kid. Please. Come on. I blame Creative for this. Creative should have tried something with him. Instead of just letting him almost get the damn title, they should have just thrown it on him if they haven't already. And actually let him have a run with it. Instead of just focusing on Trey. I'm just saying. Now, let's go to Gazelle Shaw. I gotta get this out. Gazelle Shaw. What I felt was that now she's part of the influence. They can build something around her. They can build her up. What do we get with that little segment between Tenille and Madison dealing with Gazelle? They're blaming her for the loss, and then they're blaming her, and that is Tenille, for what's going on with Marsha Slamovich. And she's saying, and this is what Gazelle said, look, I'm sorry, I've been avoiding her. She's not gonna, I don't know what she's gonna do, but I've been avoiding her. Why have you done this? Why did you say Gazelle Shaw knew anything of this? What was the point of putting Gazelle in there? What, as cannon fodder? You don't have that many knockouts on the roster. Gazelle is one of the few people you got. And instead of building something with her, you want to blame her for what's going on. That's not building her up. Now, mind you, maybe she'll have to have a match with Marsha and she'll slaughter Marsha, which I don't believe that. And then they'll build her from there. But I don't believe it. When they go to Emergence, I believe Tennille Dashwood is going to get her head taken off. And then we're going to eventually have Gazelle Shaw have a match. And then she's going to be eaten by a Marsha Stenberg. So what was the point of her going into the Influence? Guys, as much as there's some people out there, I know there's some people that don't like Gazelle Shaw because she's what she is. And there's some who don't care, like myself. The point here is this. They're presenting us a knockout, whether you like it or not. And they should be building this knockout up. As it stands right now, the track record with the knockouts has been crap. You brought in the inspiration that only lasted 6 months. You threw the damn titles on them, and then you didn't really book them correctly. And on top of that, they didn't change their stick much when they said openly on 3 different podcasts, each one of them separate and both together, they were working on a new stick and they didn't do it. So when it comes to this, that didn't work. Now, you gave, for a while, a Tasha Steelz title, which actually worked. I kind of wish she went away from Savannah Evans and just was on her own, working herself, and she was doing well. But now you need more women to build up in your division. Yes, you already got Chelsea Green, who's already pretty well built. But you need more. What's going on with Gazelle Shaw? Are you seriously telling me you're going to let her take the blame for everything? Then she's going to eventually deal with a Marsha Slamovich and then get destroyed by Marsha after Tennille gets destroyed. Because unless she's going to interfere with the match, Tennille will get destroyed and eventually Marsha will destroy a Gazelle Shaw. I don't see what that means for the knockouts. You guys tell me below. I don't know. Now, Killer Kelly is coming to Impact. Now, at first when I looked at her, because I did catch the image, I believe I've been shown images, and here she is. I thought at first that might have been CJ Perry, Miro's wife. And I had to look at it carefully because it was so quick. And it's not CJ. I'm going like, wait a minute, she looks a lot like CJ, but it can't be CJ. And it's not. She's different. I don't remember the name she had in NXT because she was on NXT. But she was there. A former MMA wrestler, former MMA star, comes in. Now she's in Impact Wrestling. The question is going to be, what are they going to do with her? How long she's going to stay there? And what are they going to do with her? Because that's the biggest question. You bring in someone like a Killer Kelly, who has a MMA background and also a good foundation of pro wrestling. Because I do remember seeing her a couple of times, like in the Mae Young Classic. I think I saw her once or twice. And maybe on NXT a couple of times before I stopped watching. So I'm sure she does have the ability to wrestle. But what will you do with her? Are you going to do like you are with Gazelle Shaw? I don't see nothing for there right now. And I'm hoping I'm wrong. So I'm worried for this woman like I'm worried for Gazelle Shaw. Calm down. The creative's not great when it comes to new women. I'm just saying. Now, PCO versus Black Taurus. This was the best match for me personally. Getting the chance to see PCO against Black Taurus is actually quite good. But here's the thing. You actually try to set up some type of controversy in Honor No More, wondering if they should keep PCO. And they're telling him, you better deliver on this match. And they've teased this more than a few times. And honestly, you know where he belongs? Decay. PCO should leave Honor No More and go to Decay. He should go. Whether he's perfect for Decay or not, that is the best place for him to go. And it'll give new blood to Decay for Black Taurus, for Crazy Steve, for Taya, as well as Rosemary. I will get to Rosemary and Taya. Don't think I'm not talking about the Undead Realm next week. I am talking about it. But the point is, wouldn't PCO, Perfect Creation 1, be better without Vincent in Decay? It just feels better. Now, of course, he won. And it kind of looked like Black Taurus might have actually hurt his forearm or his elbow. He may have gotten hurt. When that de-animator happened, he might have actually been hurt. I hope he isn't. I hope he's fine, but he might actually be hurt. I'm hoping he's not. But they keep him now. But what is the point? Unless you're going to have Vincent get kicked out, because they're going to think Vincent is the dead weight, and PCO goes with him, the person that's better to leave would be PCO. I'm just saying. Now, Shera versus Rich Swan. Now, I didn't say this in the previous match of PCO and Black Taurus. But the camera work for the first match, the second match, and the third match, which was Black Taurus and PCO, was actually fine. It was normal. There wasn't no crazy zoom in and zoom outs. They switched decently between the two cameramen that are here, so you didn't see ass all the time, and tried to switch back and forth heavily to try and make it dramatic when they didn't need to. That ended on the fourth match and the fifth match. I'm saying it right now. The first, second, and third match was normal camera work that Impact Wrestling used to do that was fine. I didn't even need to talk about it. It wasn't perfect. Every time you have a match, there's always an error where you may get this by accident. It happens. I've never had a problem with it. But when you hit to the fourth and fifth match, oh, they went back to the old ways. They did not remember what was going on for the first three matches, because you could see them doing stupid mess during Rich Swan and Shera's match. Now, here's the thing. What are we doing with Shera? Nothing. I wish Shera would leave. Not because he can't talk, not because he can't wrestle. If you heard him when he was yelling at Rich, the guy can speak good English. Not perfect English, but good English. He does have some type of character. It's just that they still tightwad him the same way as an Indian wrestler, the Indian Lion. I want him to stop doing that. He needs to be more than that. They need to do something with him. If they're not doing anything with him, let him leave again. Because as it stands right now, the person that got more character is Raj Singh than Shera, because Shera has been typecast again the same way. Now, I want to make this clear. I know everyone's going to say, Shera sucks. Look, do I recognize that he's not great on a mic? Of course I do. Yes, he's not great on a mic. He's maybe, this is great on a mic. This is shit. This is great on a mic. He's here. He's average. That's not bad than most wrestlers. Is he great in the ring? He's not perfect. In fact, during this match, my boy, Shera, thought that he can try to act like a Keith Lee, to try and act like he is Warlow, and try to act like a Lance Archer, trying to throw a Rich Swan over the place. He tries to do a military press. He lost his grip on that military press. I think he crushed Rich Swan's gonads while he was trying to grab him, and when he released him, it looked like shit. And he couldn't even throw him very far. Even when it came to Warlow, Warlow's not bigger than Shera. Shera's actually a bigger guy. But Warlow knew how to time when the guy jumped. You know they jump, right? That's how they're able to do what they do if the guy is not too much bigger than them. Rich is here. He's here. If he was here and he was here, it would have been an easier thing for Shera to throw him. My boy Shera looked cut, but he ain't strong. And instead of trying to go by his looks, instead of trying to do too much power, he made Rich look bad, man. He was supposed to throw him around like a rag doll. He threw him around like he was a rag, not a rag doll. And it didn't look right. I think someone told him back to act really menacing and just throw him around, and he was sloppy doing it. Because that's what happened. I didn't like the match. Rich didn't look good. Shera didn't look good. And as it stands with Shera being typecast as the Indian Lion again, and I think he's getting a little frustrated with that, because I think that's one of the reasons why he was acting sloppy. And I'm not saying Shera's great at all. That's what I felt. You guys can tell me below how you feel. Now, let's get to the Undead Realm bit, please. Let's. They're in my face. I believe I'm throwing images on here. They're in my face. Guys, you got... They're going to the Undead Realm to go and get Havoc. Really? It's always with Rosemary having to go to the undead realm. Now, let's make this clear. Has those scenes with the undead realm been all the time crappy? No. It was good with Bunny. It wasn't that great with Kiera Hogan. It wasn't too bad when it came to Su Young. It wasn't that bad. I wonder where she is right now. I don't know if she's working with Impact or she's still injured. I don't think she's even working with them anymore, unless she's working in the back. But when you see the situation in the Undead Realm, you know, oh, this is going to get... We're supposed to get a very strange scene that's going to be inside the building. A few times they actually went out to a desert to film it, which really looked good, which I kind of hope they do a desert scene, because the last time they did the desert, when you had Havoc dealing with Rosemary, that's where she was the last time. If you guys remember, when they did something like that with Su Yung, Havoc, and Rosemary together, at one point they did go out to an actual desert. They actually did, and I'm kind of hoping they do that again. They need to go to a desert or somewhere that's just desolate for Havoc to be just wandering. That would make it best. Inside of a building just doesn't feel right. I'm actually giving content here. Look at this. Anybody says, oh, you're chewing out Impact, you don't actually have any good ideas. What did I just say? I just gave content. I just said content for freaking Impact Wrestling. Eat me. Don't think I don't love Impact. The one that said that anyone who complained, well, one of the subscribers said, and I'm saying it again, that he thinks Impact is perfect. Anybody who has a criticism is a hater. A real hater doesn't actually give input on how to make it better. I just did. So I'm not a hater. But you get my point. I'm going to leave a couple of things out, like when America's Most Wanted. I don't know where they're going to go with that. And when it comes to Macklin and Storm, I'm leaving that out as well. I want to see what's going to happen, if it's a one-off or they're going to actually have a feud or not. So I'm not saying anything. I'm leaving it. But Deonna Purrazzo versus Mia Yim for the number one contendership to go to Emergence. They're in my face. Guys, I don't know what was wrong with this match. The crowd was cheering for it, and it wasn't 100% trash, but there was something off. You guys tell me below. Did they move really slow during the opening of the match into the middle of the match? And it wasn't like they were trying to do chain wrestling or anything. They were not. They were not doing heavy chain wrestling. They were doing light chain wrestling. But it felt slow. Not methodical slow, but slow. I've seen both of these women. And I know both of them, when they want to go fast, they will. And at the very end, they sped up. But it was like either the chemistry was off a little bit, like they were slightly off, or something was off with either Mia or Deonna Purrazzo. And I think it was probably Mia Yim that was off, because she was not herself. She was slower than normal. And I don't think she was injured. I could be wrong. Maybe she was. But she was off. And I don't know what it was. I don't know what to say that was going on with that match. It did not seem correct. Even though the crowds loved it and they were cheering their head off on it, it felt off. In the end, yes, Mia Yim won. I wasn't surprised. I was not shocked that Mia Yim won. They've been trying to build Mia Yim to try and get to that damn title. That's what we got. And at the end, we get Mia Yim up against Jordynne Grace. They both see each other. They shake hands, say high five, and they said, well, I'll see you in Emergence. Fine. But it was off. Now, does this mean, knowing this, was this a bad show? No. The first 3 matches you could see very easily, very clearly. It wasn't any heavy camera work. The lighting was pretty good. The audio seemed to be fine. Hell, you could hear Shera yelling, saying, back the hell off. But it wasn't bad. The there were 5 matches, and the last 2 matches, the camera work sucked. But it wasn't bad. We got some good segments in the back. Yes, I didn't say anything on Gunja dealing with the Digital Media Champion, dealing with Johnny Swinger. I'm leaving that alone. And I know there's at least 1 or 2 of my subscribers who loves Johnny Swinger. Yes, I can easily talk about Johnny, but I'm going to leave it because as it stands, guys, You know Johnny's going to get destroyed by Gunja. That's going to go to Brian Myers. And I'm not saying I don't love him. I do love Johnny when they book him correctly. Hell, when it came to Wrestle House 2, the Johnny Swinger series. Oh, the Johnny Swinger episode of Wrestle House. That, I didn't know how to feel. I felt crazed out of my damn mind. But you get my point. He is meant for comic relief, but they don't do that much with him. They don't do much with Ziggy Dice. They don't book them correctly, so you could see the comedic relief in the ring, in the back, any type of audio or video segments, nothing. So it's very hard to just say, this is great. No matter how you feel about them, unless creative is going to book them correctly and give us a reason to look at BTI more, like having stories behind it instead of recapping, we would have more to it, but we don't. So, better? A little bit. This show was a little bit better than not Emergent, but Against All Odds. The question is going to be, are they going to have the same production people on Emergence? Because that's going to happen, April 12th, I believe? No, not April. August, sorry, not April. August 12th. So, the question is going to be, for the next couple of weeks, are we still going to get bad camera work, bad lighting, bad audio? Or are we going to get something like this, where maybe the first 3 matches or more are going to be good, and it's sloppy later? I don't know, you guys, something below, and I hope you enjoyed the same view. Please give me a comment below. Bye. I'm about to just press it. Bye.